And of course, those turbines last only about 20, 25 years, so you need to do it all over again then. To the immigration detention crisis, David Littleproud, the High Court last month ordered the government to release a Burmese pedophile from detention because no other country would take him and governments aren't allowed to punish people. Courts must do that. The government's now released 147 other detainees, many criminals, including murderers and rapists, for the same reason. It's now got a planned new law to get some of those rearrested if they've been convicted of serious crimes against the person and got a sentence of at least 7 years, posing a risk, of course, to the community. Would you vote for that?
Well, we're actually working through the legislation and we'll probably make further amendments to strengthen up many of this latest bill. And they were going to let them run around this country without having any legislation done prior, and then was not going to track people who were murderers, who were pedophiles, rapists that were running around the streets. They lost one of them.
They've got this bill. Would you vote?
And we will work through that.
I mean, I saw Peter Dutton today saying it only is going to apply to about 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Is that the way you see it too?
And what we're trying to be is constructive like we were at the last bill and make further amendments to strengthen it, because obviously Giles and O'Neill have no idea, and it took Peter Dutton to intervene and to add amendments to it. So we're working through those amendments now, DNT and Peter Dutton, and we'll be going to the government in a cooperative way in saying that there is a better way of doing this, in making sure that we protect Australian people. That's our primary responsibility as legislators, is to protect your people. And so we'll work through that, and I know that there'll be some amendments that Peter and Dan will work through in the coming days.
Yeah, the government's saying, I think it's probably more than 4, but we shall see. Coles and Woolworths are going to be grilled by a Senate inquiry over their market power and pricing decisions. Is there really some issue here, some scandal, some wrongdoing, or is this just politicians scapegoating supermarkets to make hay during the cost of living crisis?
No, these supermarkets are some of the worst corporates in Australia from my perspective, and I've seen what they've done to primary producers. Just to give you some simple facts, the cattle and sheep price dropped off a cliff around June, July, dropped off by about 60 to 70%. All that you have seen at the supermarket is around an 8% reduction since those prices came off. So someone's cleaning up. Now, grass-fed, it should have translated at the checkout straight away. Grain-fed, I acknowledge, it takes about 90 days for a beast to go through a feedlot and then come out the other end. But these supermarkets have form on this, not only in how they're treating the consumer at the moment, but more particularly how they treat our farmers. And you know, when you got producers producing watermelon for $1 a kilogram and they're charging $4, you've got to say that someone's stitching up along the way. The farmers are taking their prices per the market, but these supermarkets are selling the very item that we need to exist. They're selling our food. And so we need to make sure that we have a sensible, transparent marketplace.
David Littleproud, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.